All right, so today we're going to do part two of the linear word problems. Yesterday it was interpreting a word problem that had slope or rate of change along with some initial value or b, which is the y-intercept. But today you're going to have thing one and thing two, as how I call it. It's actually an x and a y instead of an m and a b. All right, and then you're going to be able to use standard form for these. Standard form is just when x and y are on the same side. When I say same side, I mean they're on the same side of the equal sign. So basically you'll have something that looks like this. AX plus BY equals to C. That's standard form, guys. The A here is just the coefficient of X, and the B is the coefficient of Y. So if you have an equation that looks like this, we say it's written in standard form, not slope-intercept form. All right, but you would use standard form, or you would put X and Y on the same side and use that kind of form to write an equation when the problem relates to different objects, guys. So again, yesterday we had a rate of change, like you saw per or each in it. Or like I also call it a unit rate. And we also saw some initial starting point or B. Today you're going to have two different objects. I call it thing one and thing two. So if you see thing one and thing two, you can use standard form where you are basically replacing thing one or putting thing one as an X and thing two as your Y, okay? Thing one is your X and thing two is your Y, but it doesn't matter which one you let be X or Y, but you have to label it, okay? All right, so let's take a look at number 5. Sam ordered 2 tacos and 3 enchiladas for lunch at the restaurant. I already have thing one and thing two. Thing one, I'm going to let be tacos, and thing two, I'm going to let be enchiladas, okay? So let me erase this, guys. So I'm going to let X be the number of tacos. It's not number. They already told me the number of tacos. Okay, I'm going to let X be just represent tacos. And Y is going to be the enchiladas. All right, and these are going to represent cost, guys. All right, so now some people are saying, well, how do I know what the coefficients are? The coefficients of X, the coefficient of X and the coefficient of Y basically are some value associated with each one. So A and B, which are your coefficients, represent some value associated with X and Y. So if there's a value associated with X, it becomes the coefficient A. If there's a value associated with Y, it becomes the coefficient B, okay? All right, so it says, we'll just go back and start over. Kind of got sidetracked. Sam ordered 2 tacos and 3 enchiladas for his lunch at the restaurant. His bill came to $7.80. So it says, if the enchiladas were $2 each, write and solve a linear equation to find the cost of each taco. So I'm going to go ahead, because I have thing one and thing two, the tacos, the cost of the tacos and the cost of the enchiladas. I'm going to go ahead and write my equation. Well, 2 is associated with the number of tacos. So I put 2x. 3 is associated with the number of enchiladas. So I'm going to put an enchiladas with y. So I'm going to put 3y. But I do know when I spent X dollars for 2 of those tacos and Y dollars for 3 of those enchiladas, I spent a total of $7.80. Okay, now with that being said, we're going to go to the part in green that I have highlighted in green. It says if enchiladas were $2 each, write and solve an inequality to find the cost of each taco. Well, excuse me, not inequality equation. Here's my equation. Now I just need to solve it. Solve it if, now is it an X of 2 or a Y of 2? Well, the $2 was the cost of the enchiladas. Well, enchiladas is represented by the variable Y. So I'm going to solve it if Y equals to 2. And when I solve it, if I'm plugging in a Y, that means I must be solving for an X. X is the cost of each taco, which is what they asked us to find, the cost of each taco. So I'm going to write 2x plus 3y equals to $7.80. I'm going to change my y to the number 2. So I have 2x plus 3 times 2 minus $7.80. Well, 3 times 2 is 6. Now all I need to do is get rid of the 6. It's a basic two-step equation. So I end up with 2x equals to $1.80. Okay, divide each by 2. And it tells me that x is equal to 90 cents when $1.80 divided by 2 is 90 cents. So I can clearly see that the cost of each taco is 90 cents. That's a cheap taco. Okay, that's it. So again, just as a recap, if you have 2 different objects, guys, then you can use standard form ax plus by equals to c. But yesterday, if you see like a rate of change, a unit rate, and a starting point, use y equals mx plus b, because this is m and this is b. But here, these 2 different objects represent an x and a y. Okay? Let's take a look at 6. It says tickets at a school play cost $4 in advance or $5 at the door. Total ticket sales for an evening production were $440. If no tickets were sold in advance, write and solve a linear equation to find how many were sold at the door, okay, or the number that was sold at the door. So I already see I have thing 1, tickets sold in advance, and thing 2, tickets sold at the door, okay? Those are my 2 things. The tickets sold in advance and those sold at the door. So one is going to be X and one is going to be Y, but I have to write which one I'm going to let be which. And you can decide which one you want to be which on your own, but you have to label it, okay? So I'm going to do X as the number of tickets sold in advance. And I know this is number of tickets because it's asking me how many was sold at the door, how many what, it's talking about how many tickets. So your unknown will represent the number of tickets. And Y, I'm going to let it be the number of tickets sold at the door. Uh-huh. I do. I haven't filled it out yet, but I get it filled out and bring it to you. Okay. Well, I can email it to Amy. Okay, that'll be good. She said she got everybody. Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. So there's thing one and thing two, and then again, a value associated with each one becomes the coefficient. So the coefficient of x. Well, what value is associated with those sold in advance? Well, that would be the value for the number 4. So I know in my equation, if I'm writing in the form ax plus by equals to c, then I can write 4x plus, what's the value of the ticket sold at the door? Well, it's $5 at the door. So I'll put 4x plus 5y equals to what? Well, if it's $4 for X amount of tickets plus $5 for Y amount of tickets, I know the total cost after all those tickets were sold, the total profit was $440, or the total money made was $440. All right, so now all I have to do is solve this thing if no tickets were sold in advance. So no tickets in advance. So the advanced tickets were represented by X. So no tickets would be an X of 0 tickets. How do I know it's an X? Because it says no tickets were sold in advance. So advanced tickets again are X. So X has to be 0. So I'm going to do 4 times 0 plus 5y equals to 440. Anything times 0 is 0. And 5y equals to 440 is what I end up with. Divide both sides by 5. And y is equal to 88. So 88 tickets. But what does that y represent again? Y represents the tickets sold at the door. So it's 88 tickets sold at the door. Okay, and that's all you do. Okay, I'm going to do 2 more. And I'm going to show you your homework. All right, 7 says Karen's piggy bank has all dimes and quarters. I already got thing 1 and thing 2. The total value of the money in her piggy bank is $11.40. Let me highlight these. Okay, so all dimes and quarters. The total value in that was $11.40. And then it says if Karen has 36 quarters, we want to write and solve a linear equation to find the number of dimes she has. So my variables are going to represent the number of something, either the number of dimes or the number of quarters. So I'm going to let X be the number of dimes. And I'm going to let Y, which is thing 2, be the number of quarters, okay? And then the coefficient of the X is usually a value associated with it. What is the value associated with a dime since it didn't give us any other values? The value associated with a dime is 10 cents. And the value associated with a quarter is 25 cents. Okay? So what I'm going to write for the equation is 10 cents X, that's the value associated with a dime, plus 25 cents Y, which is the value associated with a quarter, equal to a value of what? In other words, so many dimes at a value of 10 plus so many quarters at a value of 25 cents equal to a total value of $11.40. Now it says if Karen has 36 quarters, well, quarters is the variable Y. So I'm going to say if her Y is 36, then what is her X? Okay? Basically, that's the number of dimes. X is the number of dimes. So if I have Y, I'm looking for X. So let's change Y to 36. So 36 quarters represents how much money? 9. So I know I have 10 cents X plus 9 equals to $11.40. I'm going to subtract 9 from both sides. So I have 10 cents X equals to $2.40. And I'm going to divide both sides by 0.10 or just 0.1 if you want to do it that way. So we know we end up with exactly 24 for X. But that unknown number is the number of dimes. So I'm going to say if she has 36 quarters, she has 24 dimes. And that will give her a total value of $11.40. But your answer is 24 dimes. All right, let's take a look at 8. And if you want to pause the video and try it on your own, you can. All right, on 8, it says the Madison High School Marching Band sold gift wrap to earn money for a band trip. Solid color gift wrap sells for $4 per roll, and printed gift wrap sells for $6 per roll. I already have thing 1 and thing 2, to be honest. I see solid color gift wrap and printed gift wrap. I'm going to go ahead and mark those. Solid color gift wrap and printed gift wrap. Then it goes on to say the band needs to earn $2,340 for an upcoming competition. So after they sell all those gift wraps, the price that they earn needs to be $2,340. In other words, that needs to be the total amount of money made. And then it goes on to say if the band sells 340 rolls of printed, write and solve a linear equation to find the number of solid paper they must sell. So I'm going to do thing 1. I'm going to let my thing 1 be the solid colored gift wrap. And it's the number of solid colored gift wrap, okay? So let's write the number. X is the number of solid colored gift wrap. I'm just going to put solid paper. And Y is going to be the number of, not solid, but printed paper, a printed wrap. So now what I need to do is attach a coefficient in front of X. Okay, what's going to sit in front of the X? What value is associated with the solid paper? Well, I know the solid color gift wrap sells at $4 per roll, so 4 is going to sit in front of it. So it's going to be 4X plus, and then the printed gift wrap sells at $6 per roll. So I know the 6 is going to go with the Y, plus 6Y. But the total sales need to come to $2,340. That's my equation, so I've written that. Then it says solve it. Solve it if what? If the band sells 340 rolls of printed. Well, printed represents the variable Y. So you're going to solve it if Y is 340 rolls. So I'm going to change Y to 340 and solve for X. Now, when I solve for X, I'm looking for the number of solid colored gift wrap, which is the answer to my question. Find the number of solid paper. All right, so to have 4X, we're going to change Y to 340 equals to 2,340. So 6 times 340 equals to 2,040. I'm going to subtract 2,040 from both sides. So you have 4X equals to 300. Divide both sides by 4. And we end up with 75 rolls. So X equals to 75. 75 rolls of what? Well, X is the number of solid color paper. Rolls of solid paper, guys. Okay. All right. This concludes the part 2, okay, of linear word problems. So again, part 1 was slope and y-intercept, where you were given a rate of change or some unit rate. And then some initial starting point. Part 2 is thing 1 and thing 2, where you have 2 different things that you were given. And then there's a coefficient of thing 1 and a coefficient of thing 2.
DeQuan Patterson, please come to the office. DeQuan Patterson, please come to the office.
All right, so what you're going to do, we should be at this point ready to go over the ACAP, some of the ACAP questions on the sample test. But if not, I want you to go to Google Classwork, to that Classwork tab, and open up your homework here. It shouldn't say for day 1. Oh, here it is. I'm on the wrong one. It's going to say for day 2. You're going to open up the homework there. And your day 2 is this part. Only complete 5 through 8 today, okay, Thursday. It's going to be thing 1 and thing 2 on there, all right? And then we should be ready for the ACAP practice test. But like I said, if not, then go ahead and start working on 5 through 8. All right, and that's it for today, guys. Thank you.